Welcome to the Metal Verbalizers podcast. We started this podcast because we want to support the great music and hard-working musicians of the underground, as well as being a place for you to discover new great music. If you like what we do and want to support Metal Verbalizers, then leave me a like, a comment, and following the podcast would be a great help. If Metal Verbalizers get found by more people, the bands will also benefit from that. In this episode, you will hear an interview I made with one of the band's members. We talk about things such as the band's main influences, lyric themes, band name, and future plans. I'm Johan Verbalizer, and this episode will be dedicated to the band Scarlet Anger. Okay, so we could start by having you introduce yourself a little bit. Also, if there's anything you want to say before my questions.
Yeah, we are Scarlet Anger from Luxemburg, Europe, a very tiny country. Maybe you know. Hope so. We're doing a thrash metal with very melodic approach. We've been founded in 2007, so we are getting pretty old, I think.
All right. So you mentioned when the band started, but would you like to elaborate a little bit also about how it started?
Yeah, actually, there's two main founders. There's our singer and the guitarist. The guitarist is also our main songwriter. It's Fred and Joe. We were friends from very early childhood on, from kindergarten. So we played the whole year together. The whole life, sorry. Also, we were doing music since their teenager times, but the music there was more alternative or like the 90s was more alternative, but they always wanted to do more metal because they listened actually to metal.
I see.
So when we split up with their old bands, we thought now it's finally the time to do what we really want to do. That was metal, thrash metal, as both of them were really big Metallica and Creator fans.
Yeah, I see. So I was going to ask you if you would like to mention some of your main influences, but then I can imagine that bands like Metallica and Creator is very big influences.
Yeah, for Joe and Fred, they're the biggest influence, I would say. But there's also me. By the way, I'm Vincent. I'm the bass player. I'm also from the very beginning with Scarlet Anger.
Yeah.
My main influences are more melodic, so more Iron Maiden and even power metal.
All right.
But also Jeff, our second guitarist, it's the lead guitarist, I would say. He joined us in, I think, 2010. His main influences are also Iron Maiden.
All right.
So maybe the melodic approach from Scarlet Anger will come from this side. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a mixture between both influences.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah, what I want influences. Also, our drummer Rod, he joined us 6 years ago, I think. And both Jeff and Rod, we play also in an Iron Maiden tribute band.
Okay.
So the influences are pretty obvious, I would think. We say.
All right, I see. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. Like having influences like Creator, which are relatively very heavy and extreme, and then having influences like Iron Maiden, which usually results in a pretty cool mix and a very cool result.
Yeah, I hope so. But the people appreciate our music because I would think it's a bit special. Yeah, we have our own sound. I hope that you see it the same way. I hope so.
Yeah, for sure. I would probably say that if you're a big fan of like a band like Creator and not the least they're more like newer material, I think that you would definitely like Scarlet Anger for sure. And I
Yeah.
also think it's kind of cool because I think that might be also a result of the kind of like mix of influences as well. That even though you can definitely hear a lot of Creator in the sound, it's definitely not like you would say like a copy or anything. It's definitely its own thing. So even if I would say like you can't listen to Creator instead of Scarlet Anger, if that makes sense. So I would definitely recommend to check out Scarlet Anger in that case.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, you probably right. We don't sound like newer creative material. What people always often said before, we sound a bit like Creator in the 2000s, so
All
early
right.
2000s. I don't know if that's actually the case. It's you to it's your decision, but yeah.
Yeah, so I would also like to ask you a little bit about uh, how would you say that you want to like visualize the music, and by that I mean like the ideas behind things like album art, how the logo looks, like things like that, basically.
Yeah, if you 1 moment.
Yeah,
Before we always had an how to call it a mascot like Iron Maiden had Eddie.
yeah,
We had our evil clown.
yeah.
So all of our albums before were the clown on it. Yeah. But now with new material, you see no clown anymore.
Yeah, I see.
We decided to leave this one behind us and concentrate, focus more on the music.
All right.
Yeah. Because the whole graphic approach, the artwork was a lot of work also to do. Because also there, Fred, our main songwriter, also does the whole artwork.
Right.
Anytime the chance to get this album, Preacher, we have the booklet, and where Fred did for every song, he did his own cover. For every,
That's
yeah,
cool.
that's very cool, but a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, as we do everything on our own. We don't pay someone to do it. So all the artwork you've seen, we did it. Also, the picture from the new album is only a picture.
Yeah.
But also this one, we did it without a photograph. We did it with a stand, timer, and yeah.
Yeah. I can imagine that it's kind of like a double-edged sword in a way. Like, if you do everything yourself like that, you can kind of get it exactly like you want it, but it will also require a lot more work, I can imagine.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. That maybe it took us 6 years between these two albums.
Yeah.
But also there, two of us got kids, so also that's take a lot of time. And there was also the pandemic, of course. Yeah, if you do it all on your own, take a lot of time.
Yeah.
Because also you have to do the legal approach. You have to get it on Spotify. You have to declare it for copyright and everything. It's more doing it like this way. It's more work besides the music than the music itself,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah. I think I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I would also.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
No, but I want to guarantee that for the next album, it don't take 6 years. I can guarantee this.
All right. Sounds great. I would also like to ask you about, could you like explain your lyrical themes? Are they the same on every album or do they differ?
First of all, I would say we aren't a political band. So we don't want to put out political statements. Our lyrics are more every day is everyone's life. Yeah, with all the problems everyone has to conquer to yeah. If you look now, the last three singers for a new album, there's the song called Martyr.
Yeah.
That's about how to overcome your fear. Yeah, overcome your fear to get to your to your results. If you see now a song like Hunger, also a singer,
Yeah.
that's about the human, the greed of the human. That it's never enough for someone. Even if you have everything, you can get more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also there's one more single, It's No Time, which I like really much. That actually most people don't use their time properly. You have only a limit period of time where you live, so use it with good sense of humanity.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, and I also think that's a very cool idea to like write lyrics like that. It's kind of like it's specific in a way, but it's also like general enough so that like pretty much every listener can interpret it like in its own context, so to speak. And like you, I think that with lyrics like that, it can feel like relatable for at least very, very many people.
Yeah, that's maybe that's the idea behind, but I don't know if there is an idea behind, because the lyrics come automatically. If
All right.
I mean, you too. If you wanna, you have also your problems. I don't hope they are too big, but if you write down your problems, you can solve them, or you can overcome them a bit. So
yeah, I think that makes sense.
I think everyone could incorporate with this idea.
Yeah. So I would also like to ask you, what made you choose Scarlet Anger as your band name?
Yeah, that's also Fred and Joe, the very close friends, which even call them brothers. Yeah, they were looking for a name which didn't exist before. So it's really that's why they chose Scarlet Anger, because didn't appear anywhere on the internet. We Googled everything, we looked everywhere, really to avoid this problem gonna appear even in 5-10 years. So really, I can guarantee Scarlet Anger doesn't exist anywhere.
All right.
Yeah, Scarlet Angel actually exists, but Scarlet Anger not.
All right. I mean, that's pretty close, but not quite there.
No, it's not quite there. Even we played once the show that we were announced not as Scarlet Anger, not as Scarlet Angel, but as Secret Angel.
All right.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I personally think that is a great name. I mean, like you're saying, it's obviously original, and it was also something that really interested me. And I think it was probably like the name was definitely one of the things that really like caught my attention. So obviously, it's a great name in my opinion.
Yeah, it's also it's metal. It sounds like metal.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Anger, yes, with angry anger is metal, and also Scarlet. Scarlet is tone of red.
Yeah.
And that's also pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
The color red is also aggressive, so yeah, it's pretty metal.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I would also like to ask you, like, what are your plans for the future? If it's long term or short term?
Yeah, short term, we're going to play some festivals this year. We're going. Last weekend we were in Switzerland. First time we're going to go first time in Austria in June, I think. we're gonna go first time in Spain.
All right.
End of May and first weekend of June, and also we're coming to England in September. Yeah, also a nice festival with bands like Destruction and Nervosa, and yeah. So in thrash metal time, yeah, it's cool.
Right, that sounds really great. So do you have any like plans that you would like to mention regarding like future releases or so?
Yeah, that's well, what I would say. I guarantee it don't take 6 years to the next album.
Yeah.
Because we are looking now for maybe to get a label. Before we had a label for these 2 albums.
Yeah.
But with the latest one, we tried to do it once more, really everything on our own. Also the release. But to get the chance to play with the really big festivals, we think now you really need a label.
All right.
We are, for the moment, we are looking to get a new deal with a label. And we are also, or somewhat, Fred is already doing some writings. Yeah. So we move forward. And don't take 6 years.
Right, yeah, for sure. Sounds great. I'm definitely looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, thanks. We too.
Yeah, for sure. And that was basically like all my official questions, I guess. But I would also like to ask you, is there anything else that you would like to talk about or that you would like to mention that you think the listeners should know?
Well, actually, I don't know. I hope that your listeners gonna like our music. I hope that nice people for you. We're actually coming from Luxemburg. If any one of your listeners any times come to Luxemburg, why not on Facebook, Instagram? I don't know. And
Right.
yeah, maybe we're gonna meet up in a nice rock bar in Luxemburg town.
Sounds great. But yeah, I would like to thank you very much for taking the time to make this episode.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, for sure. It was a pleasure. It's a great pleasure. So, of course, I want to thank you very, very much for your time and to make an episode with us.
Thanks. So enjoy your rest of the evening.
Likewise. And that's the end of our interview. We want to thank Scarlet Anger for this great interview and taking the time to talk to us. But now I want to know your thoughts and opinions. What do you think about Scarlet Anger? Maybe you have a favorite song by this band. If so, which one? Let us know in the YouTube comments or on social media. If you like what we do and want to support Verbalizers, leaving a like and a comment on this episode would really help. If you want to discover more underground bands, then make sure to also follow the podcast. This would really help us, and by us I mean Verbalizers and the bands we feature. If we get found by more people, the bands will benefit from that as well. Helping us spread the word by mentioning Verbalizers in places like social media communities, etc. would also be a huge help. Thank you very much. It means a lot to us that you've been listening all the way to the end. We really appreciate that. We will be back to Verbalize again next week.